The following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Okay, students, this is your 5-minute warning. I repeat, 5-minute warning.
Silence. This is the 5-minute warning with Ruben Brown, happening right now.
Hear ye, all that watch upon the 5-minute warning. We are at a monumental episode. As you can tell at the bottom, this is the number 100th episode of the 5-minute warning. Yes, somehow, for some reason, you have put up with this podcast / live TV show for 100 episodes. So the joke's on you. But now let me stop. Hey, once again, it's a 5-minute warning. And of course, it's me, Ruben Brown, of course. Right down below, we got AG on
What's
the
happening,
ones and
y'all?
twos.
How you doing?
I mean, he's a little bit ahead of me. That's cool. And then in his lounge away from wherever, we got Mo B.
Just chilling, man. Just chilling.
I mean,
He's chilling in his new thirst trap.
Yeah, somebody's
Because his
apartment.
first thirst trap wasn't good enough.
I mean, this guy's thirst trapping already. We just started the episode.
Nah, man, we good now.
Well, good, man. Good, man. So, yeah, as everybody can see, 5-minute warning, number 100. So, before we get into the craziness that's about to ensue, AG, 100
Yes, sir.
episodes, man. Did you see it coming?
Yes, I did. And I think I saw it coming when the day I saw it coming was when Mo B was a regular. And then when I knew it was coming was when he changed microphones and I was like, you can hear everything he had to say. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Because he would say things and we would know what he was saying. But when I went over it, it was like it really had to work hard to try to make him intelligible. But I'm telling you, when he got that new microphone, I was like, oh, it's on now, buddy.
I mean, I guess he's like, if I'm gonna talk this ish, you might as well hear what I'm saying.
Truth. I think he really blossomed when I put the language warning at the beginning.
TVMA. Mo B was like, oh yeah, buddy. MA, I can do
say
what I do.
want to say now, buddy.
I mean, there's South Park up in this joint.
It really was. And then it was so funny to me because the first time he popped that cherry and the CU Pearl clutch over it, oh, that was hilarious.
But it's crazy though, because like up until the last couple of weeks, I feel like Ruben has said the most F-bombs on the show.
Probably.
Yeah, but you'll always be a legend for it. You're Hall of Fame.
Did I drop the first F-bomb? I don't know if I dropped the first one.
I don't think you did.
I think it was Ruben. I think that was Ruben.
Because I would correct it after the fact.
Oh yeah.
But then, like I said, once I don't know what episode it was, but you were I think you might have been upset at something, and you were just like, F this, F that. And I was like, you know what? I got to change. This is not a family show anymore. I know that.
It was a family show for a hot minute. Then Mo B came.
I think Mo B was the crown jewel, to be honest with you. The show's been very good since then. I mean, I've listened to all of them multiple times because I had to. And there's something he brings to the table that neither one of us do. So I think he especially when, and I don't think he even tries. I think the way he sees life is more than interesting.
All right. Mo B, same question to you, man. I mean, did you think we were getting to 100?
And I ain't think you let me be up here for 10 shows, man.
Pearl clutching.
Look, I knew what I was getting when, I said, yo, man, I need you to be on the show. And he's like, you sure about that?
I mean, yeah, like, you sure about it? Because I'm not the best at censoring myself. And I'm not even talking about language-wise. I mean, opinion-wise. I'm not really good at censoring myself.
If you did, there would be no need for you on the show. You have to be you.
Well, yeah. And I think that's a cool thing,
It is. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be the same show. Because I've heard, like, I would hear, like, when you and I do a show.
Yeah.
And then when Mo B was on the show on a regular basis, not the same, not even close.
Yeah, yeah. It's good stuff.
Y'all
Though. It's
giving me
good
way
stuff.
too much credit, man.
No, we're not. I hear the shows all the time. No, we're not.
This show went on what, like 40 something shows before I got here. So
All I'm saying is it was different. Because I mean, come on, man. Because I was going through the My Five, so I get my list right. And when I thought I had one more to go, and then I was looking at the show notes to each show, so I wouldn't have to listen to them, so I get my jog my memory. And the math oppression came up. I was like, yo, and that's the show you and I did, right?
yeah.
Oh my god, I remember snot crying over that. That was crazy, man.
That was hilarious.
Yo,
yeah. I mean, I think I'm gonna be real. Never, when I first started it, I was happy to get 10 shows in. And then it kind of just grew. And then we did the 6-month episode. I was like, okay, this is starting to become a little bit more real than I thought it was going to be. But I think for me, it truly hit that this show has the potential to do 100 episodes is when we went live for episode 50. And when we did that, to me, that changed the whole complexity of the show. Because we were no longer just recording and just putting out podcasts. No. We were putting out live content. And, there are times where AG could fix it up and make it more apologetic than it should have been. But now when you live. And, you just learn that there are certain things you just can't take back.
Is that how you're going to characterize it?
I mean,
certain things you can't take back.
What's is out there is out there, and you can sit here and be like, "I ain't say that, bruh." All 6 people heard you say it, and it's like not including us. So it's one of those things where, for me, the show once again evolved, and now episode 100, and we're gonna evolve a little bit more today because. That's what we do here. We evolve. We gotta change it up because if you're just giving the same old garbage, then it's the same old garbage. But we'll talk more about that later. So, first of all, thanks everybody for listening. Definitely if you're out there in the Twitch world, hit us up. You can communicate with us on the chat. But let's just get into it, man. So, we got a couple episodes in, but guess what? Yes, they did it. They did it. The Wonder Years is now black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And it's blackity black and it's black, y'all. And there's some people out there, partially the white community, who don't really like it. And that's on them. But, hey, I mean, we've had the opportunity to watch the first couple episodes of the Wonder Years, the new version. So my first question to you gentlemen is, at the beginning, when you heard that they were coming out with the Wonder Years again, but it was going to be in the scape of black people, what did you think about it? Let's start with AG first.
I had 2 thoughts. I thought, based on when the Wonder Years took place, the original series took place, I knew that they had a potential to produce fire for Wonder Years with an all-black cast set with all-black perspectives on the same time frame. But my second thought is, if this sucks, we're in trouble. So it better be good because there's some white folks out there that don't appreciate this foolishness. So if you're gonna set some stuff on fire, let it be good. Don't let it be a dumpster fire. I'm just saying, be good. And it was. I haven't watched the second episode yet, but the first episode was dope. I mean, they started out by punching you in the face by doing the just a few days before King was killed, and the aftermath of all of that from a black perspective in a black neighborhood in a really segregated town, which all towns were, but still, it was crazy. So I really enjoyed it. It was good.
Moby?
Man, I hated the idea that they was trying to make a black version of Wonder Years. When they first started advertising, I was like, man, this is gonna be trash. why are we trying to capitalize on the fact that all of a sudden black is cool? And then I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, yeah, this is brilliant. I'm glad they did this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem admitting when I was wrong. Like, you know, the family wanted to watch it, and I was like, all right, we'll watch it. And then just like AG said, that first episode, like doing it a couple days before King's assassination, and then, you know, right up to it is like, yo, this is perfect. It started so many conversations in my house because then I had to realize that, you know, my 9 and 10-year-old, they understand what racism is. They understand like the new age racism that people out there protesting. They don't understand the blatant ass racism that was going on back then. Like they asking all types of questions. I'm just like, yeah, it's and for me, it's hard to fathom, you know, not understanding this, but realizing that, you know, they ain't got no reason to really know about it. So this is all brand new to them.
Wow.
So yeah, I thought it was. I think so far it's been really well done, and like I'm into it now.
So when I first heard, I was really just like, huh? I wasn't sure, but when I saw clips of the first episode, and I'm gonna tell you what won me over, man. And this gonna sound crazy, but Don Cheadle doing the voiceover, because look, man, what I will say is this: Don Cheadle has done a lot of things, and there are a lot of things that he's done that's absolutely terrible because it's what it is. But at this point in time, he is of such stature where you just can't be doing some old crazy BS. And the fact that he led his voice for this meant that, okay, he must think is okay. Not that I should believe what he says, but it was different because, you know, having watched the original Wonder Years, you know, the guy in the background is telling you everything that you need to know. Is almost like telling you before the kid experiences it himself, which I thought was really interesting. But Don Cheadle putting his voice on it, that's a big deal. And you know, I've seen just the first episode. The show's solid, man. The show's solid. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to the Cosby Show because it's two different types of things. But I feel like that it could reach those heights. You know, because back in the day, the Cosby Show was probably the number one, you know, sitcom, black or white, for a very long time. So I feel like that this could reach those heights. And I didn't really watch a lot of Blackish or Grownish or Mixedish or Poopish or whatever all that stuff is. But I do appreciate the Wonder Year stuff. I was not born in '68, so a lot of that, I mean, I've read some of that in books. I'm just anxious for the kid to grow up and how he grows up. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, I mean, go ahead.
No, I was going to say before we leave this is I want to shout out Fred Savage for being a part of it at a high level because he kind of had the most to lose or gain in a bad way. So I thought that was kind of cool. He's part of this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from what I understand, Fred Savage is a pretty cool dude. And plus, you know what? Make some more money. I mean,
True.
What he doing now? Crickets. Exactly. So, as far as people hating it, man, if you're gonna hate it, then
I mean, are there people giving it negative reviews? Because like I really generally stay away from. If I actually watch a show, I generally will not look for any reviews on it because first of all, I don't like hearing about people who don't matter to me's opinion. And because like I just know most of the time the internet is just full of visceral hate. So no matter how great something is, there'll always be somebody screaming from the mountaintops that it's awful. But how has the overall critics been to the show?
I don't know because I'm with you. I didn't read it. I didn't read any reviews before or since because I like the show and that's all that really matters. So,
well,
you read anything, Ruben?
I mean, from what the article is saying, it's, you know, a lot of people are like, why are you creating something that belongs to us? You know, it's a whole belonging to us. to us type of deal. I mean, you gotta love that, man. You gotta love the belong to us stuff.
Well, I mean, maybe there is such a thing as white misappropriation. You know, maybe.
I mean, so and some white woman called it racist, and I'm kind of just like, yeah,
It's racist.
How has it been racist? Because I haven't.
It does display racism. I don't know how it's racist though, especially the kid, like my man's friend. He's not prejudiced.
Yeah.
He said it 3 times.
he said the woman is accused in series of being racist simply for featuring black actors and tell a black centered story, which pretty much means she's probably more of a racist than anything else, and nobody should care about her opinion.
How dare you have a show about black people's existence in the 60s?
I mean, this is probably the same woman who loved the Cosby Show. And let's just be real, the Cosby Show was a Cosby Show, but it's not like it tackled a whole bunch of color situations.
But it did just by its existence.
Yeah, just by its existence.
I'm just saying it wasn't directly like Theo didn't go and have issues at school for being black. That's all I'm saying.
He had issues in school because he was Theo. You right about
that. I mean, but they didn't really tackle all that stuff until A Different World. And then I feel like they tackled it backwards. Like, the child goes to an HBCU, but I feel like it was tackled more on how white people see us and how we should act. I don't know. A Different World was okay. It just wasn't. It didn't do it for me. I'll just go put it like that. It just didn't do it for me. It became less about the girl from the Cosby Show than more about everybody else, which I guess
that was kind of her choice because she, had her little run in with, I guess, beef with Bill Cosby or wanted to do. I don't know.
Which is crazy,
right?
the
show, like the dude literally made a show just for her.
Yeah. Like literally, it was grownish 30 years ahead of time. Literally.
True.
And
never even thought that way.
And she kind of pissed it away. And so they just basically made the show about everybody else, which I would probably say it went 1 year too long. They graduated and then they got jobs and stuff. And I get it, but
it probably did go on 1 season too long. But at the same time, it's like you had to find a point to end it. And
true that. So, but yeah, as far as the whole racist thing, it's just like, man, if you don't like the show, watch The Wonder Years. You can see it on Nick at Night, man. Kevin's on Nick at Night every night. You can see him look bad with Winnie Cooper and all that stuff. So yeah, you got some people talking about it, but nobody who I care to talk about. So going from that to yeah. So I think it's a fair statement, which, AG is here. So, hey, man, the world is changing. It has not changed fully. But, interracial relationships really isn't the big hullabaloo like it was probably. Well,
it is.
Okay, it is.
It is. Right. Because it's like Moby said about his family watching The Wonder Years. It's gone from blatant to nuance. The nuance is still there. So just saying, it's not blatant anymore. It's definitely more clandestine and more, again, nuance. But I'm telling you, it's a big deal.
Okay, well, that's very possible. So, a high school student in Kansas City decided, white boy, just put it out there, decided to ask a black girl out for homecoming. So, this is so rough.
Look at Moby.
So, in his brilliance, because it never happened to me, and I never did it. That's a story for another time. But like when you ask a girl to homecoming, I guess the thing is now you make some very sophisticated ask why.
Grand
How to do it.
gesture.
Grand
Yeah,
gesture.
I have a whole nother opinion on that, but yeah, let's keep
Yeah.
it moving.
So he wrote a poster, and on this poster, I quote, he says, I quote, "If I was black, I would be picking cotton," and then he had cotton balls beside it. "But I'm white, so I'm picking you for Hoko or homecoming, yes or no?" So he used
Look at him. He doing a woosah right now. Look at him.
the age old black people picking cotton reference to ask this black girl out to homecoming, which she did accept. Congratulations, bruh. So of course, the parents, the parent of the daughter is cool with it. She ain't got no issues. But I guess the other parents, the other people are not cool with it. AKA the white people are not cool with it. So Moby, just what you thinking, man? Like
Alright.
there's more to this, but you're just looking like
No, I
bruh,
mean,
is-
like the fact that the fact that the black girl's family doesn't really have a problem with it, actually speaks to me. Not because I'm mad at them, because they probably obviously know this kid. He's probably been around before. And let's be honest, any group of black people that have like one or two white friends, you give the white people that you're really cool with leeway to slide in a few racially insensitive jokes, because it's like, I know who you are. It's funny, we can all laugh about it. But when you put the shit on the poster board and then you put cotton up there, it's like I have daughters, and if that would have been my daughter, we'd have shut the door. I'd have shut the door and I'd be like, "Hey, baby, let me go talk to him for a second." And I just walked out and had to have a conversation with the white kid. Like, look, you cool, Billy.
really.
You cool, Billy. I ain't got no beef with you. I just need you to know that this is your one. Like, this is your one slide forever. This is your one slide forever, because
I think this gonna replace my number 5.
I don't remember reading the kid's name. Doesn't matter. He looks like a Billy to me. Like,
But ain't
No,
no
he called
picture
him
of him,
Billy.
man.
He called him Billy. Yo.
you put a
Billy.
poster board up there with cotton, your name is Billy. Like, that's just what the F it is.
Oh my God, his name is Billy. He called him Billy. I'm so done right now. I
Actually, I
can't.
thought he was gonna say Chaz. I don't know.
Zach. I mean, can we go with that?
No, I like Billy much better.
Oh my God.
But I mean, like, I'm not mad at the kid, but I do question his intellect, because I'm just like, yo, did you think that was clever? Or like, you almost just called my daughter nigga on a poster board. Like, I mean, sometimes that's an example of like, hey, white boy, you're trying too hard. Like, we just come. First of all, I have a problem with the fact that there's all these prom invites and homecoming invites that are making the internet now. Like, because apparently we ain't celebrating women actually getting married no more. Now it's just like, hey, F it, man. If a dude just asks you to prom, let's go all out for this shit. Like I don't remember this being a big fuss when I was in school, and it ain't been that damn long. Like, it was like, hey, I'm gonna ask you in the hallway, hey, you want to go to homecoming? Cool. Like, I ain't feel like I needed to make no show. I didn't have to feel like I needed to make some racially insensitive joke on a poster board. First of all, I want to know, how did Billy come up with this? Was Billy just sitting there like, I gotta think of some cool ass shit to
And
say
I have an
on the
answer for
poster
you on
board?
that. I have an answer for you on
And he
that.
was just like, yo, I gotta think of something.
So,
All right. If I was black, what would I be doing if I was black?
all right,
And the first thing Billy thought about was picking fucking cotton. If I was black, picking cotton. Yeah, I heard that's what they be doing. You know, if I was black, I'd be picking cotton.
Look, hey Ruben, I don't mean to interrupt none of y'all. But if you think you would have got to 100 episodes without this video, you are high. Go ahead, man.
That was the first thing he thought about if I was black.
Hold on, I gotta
if I was black, I'd be a better basketball player, or if I was black, I'd be a greater athlete, or if I was black, I'd have a bigger dick. Like, give me some of the good stereotypes. Don't go straight to the you be a slave in the fields. Like,
Moby. All right, so her mom claimed that there was a Caucasian and an African American boy who were involved. She even alleged the black boy. She called him African American. The black boy made the sign. So, yeah. Because people aren't believing all that. It's
and even if the black kid did, then you know what that black kid did? Set Billy ass up. That's a black kid that don't even like Billy for real.
I mean, wow. So KB Yakko says, so tired. If you're gonna be offensive, at least be original. And of course, Moco Cowboy, man, the guy says, I guess he had a cotton ball pass. Oh Jesus!
If I was black, I'd be, and the first thing that this motherfucker thought was picking cotton.
Maybe.
If you're gonna go in on the negative stereotypes, like at least go in on a modern negative stereotype.
Well, like crack dealer.
Yeah, like if I was black, I'd be dealing crack, or.
Hey man,
or if I was black, I'd be unemployed, or if I was black, the police officer might have shot me before I finished making this sign.
I mean, at least the man had cotton on his joint, man. He had some cotton balls.
Found some cotton balls to put up there. He
didn't find any, man. You went. All you gotta do is go to Rite Aid for 88 cents.
He doubled down on his first black thought was picking cotton. So basically, Ruben, if you walk in the room, this white kid, the only thing he thinks your profession could be is
cotton picker.
He got to be picking cotton. What does he think her family does? Like, damn, y'all got a big ass house. I bet your dad be picking a lot of damn cotton.
No, he got a cotton gin. It's like Queen Sugar.
Oh, you right.
He got the cotton gin.
And KB Yakko comes back. He's like, what would the poster say if it was a black kid asking a white girl? If I was white, I would be. No, if it was a black kid asking a white girl, he wouldn't have made a poster. I mean, let's just be real.
True.
I ain't making no poster. I mean, because let's be real, that's too much work.
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
All right, AG, man. You're the one person here who is in an interracial relationship. Bruh, okay. Would you have done this for your wife?
F no. No. No, man, this is racist as hell.
He said F no.
No, man. I mean, come on. I ain't gonna give Billy a pass. Because like Moby said, if you really break down the gay film, what he said, there's some thought that had to go into this. This is not so. He tried to make a grand gesture. And it's like, as sophisticated as kids are, I ain't gonna give Billy no pass on this one, man. I'm like, I mean, even if the kid was black, that's extra. Even if you black, that's extra.
So I got a question for y'all. Here's a question for y'all, because I gotta ask. So, well, first of all, let's just be real about this. And she did say yes,
which it blows my mind even more. Because my mama would have saw that if I was the girl, my mama would have read that and said, "Look, if you go out there, boy, don't come home no more."
Which further lets me know that this family know Billy, and they know that he ain't got no racism in him. They just know he dumb as hell. They probably, you know what I'm saying? You dumb, like that's why you gotta give him a pet. Like, bro, you got to be the dumbest. On the street right now.
Oh man.
But no. If that sign was outside my house and somebody was at, I'd shut the door. I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna let you know right now. I better not ever see you with Billy. Ever. And if I do see you with Billy, you better be moving in with him because you ain't coming back here.
Actually, I think you probably would have said William at that point.
I don't know.
I think if I ever see you with William, don't come back.
Nah. I'm only saying names because we on the air, but I'd be like, if I ever see you with that mother again,
Yo.
And the other thing that bugged me about it was the white lady is blaming the black daughter for all this, which I'm like, I read the article and it confused me until I was like, why is she? And then the next thing that bugged me was
mom blamed the black student though, blamed the kid's friend. How you gonna blame Billy Boy? Like I said,
it's all the black kid's fault. But the real thing that let me know, the biggest thing that let me know where the mom stood for real, and I don't even know if she really understood that she was telling on herself when she said all lives matter. When she said all lives matter, I didn't even need to read anymore. I was like, you're a racist and you just got outed because you probably taught Billy this and he took it to the black community and it was like, he did a Kyle Larson. I'm just saying.
And if there's somebody out there that thinks all lives matter isn't symbolic of being a racist, I'm gonna say no, it definitely is symbolic of being a racist. It just means you might not know you're a racist, but the rest of us do.
Well,
look, if you don't know you're a racist, it's okay. Like, but please listen when we call you a racist. Don't get defensive. Just try to figure out why the hell we calling Billy a racist. We don't know Billy, but we know when you make a sign and the first thing you think of when you say if I was black goes to picking cotton. Yeah. You got that shit in you.
I think she was kind of crazy for putting the black family out on Front Street when that's the only proof you had to make sure that you wouldn't be a racist. Because most people that are racist and don't know they're racist always got that one black friend.
And not even one. It's just they always know exactly how many black friends they have. Exactly how many.
I got 4 black friends. I'm not a racist.
Wow.
And she threw them under the bus. So now she's got nobody. And she said all lives matter. Just saying.
So, and on top of all this, they didn't say which goes to where, but one of them goes to a private Catholic high school, and the other one goes to a public high school. Now, you can sit there and assume, but I'm going to tell you not to assume because you may think, well, maybe the white kid goes to the Catholic school. Like,
I was actually going to think reverse.
That's what I'm thinking because, like, look, man, I know a lot. I do know a lot of people who are Catholic religion. I mean, I don't think they get taught this shit, but
you're cute.
I know.
Can I keep you?
But I mean, and like the Catholic school actually put a press release out about it, and I'm just like, what? Like,
Catholics just trying not to get sued, man. They're still racist.
I mean,
you're trying to tell me just because you're Catholic means you're not racist? Come on, man.
I mean, they got a whole bunch of other stuff going on with the Boy Scouts and all that, and their own issues. So,
they got many more issues than that. Just saying.
And then, of course, the NAACP chapter wants to investigate the incident and use it as a learning opportunity. And I'm just like, hold on, man. So basically, you're saying that this dude, who clearly this black girl likes
a lot, made this poster with or without help,
and now the NAACP is in this shit. Like, really? That's what we need to do to get the NAACP.
I can almost guarantee.
Okay,
in 10 years, this little girl's gonna regret all this.
And this is gonna be an unpopular thing, but this is why the NAACP don't get shit done. Why y'all worried about this?
Yeah,
this ain't serving nobody. What are y'all investigating? And then what are y'all gonna do after the investigation's over? Are y'all gonna go, oh, we officially claim this racist because we are the authority on claiming things being racist? Like, what is it? Like, what are they gonna do?
Nothing.
What are you gonna arrest a kid for? I mean, hello, Romeo and Juliet. Keep it moving. I mean,
okay.
I mean, but yeah, NAACP wants to investigate to do what
Nothing.
exactly? To say y'all were involved? I mean, is the mom says it's cool. The girl's going to homecoming with him. I mean, I don't see how this is anybody else's damn business.
Yeah, if that family is cool with their daughter going to homecoming with somebody that thinks that black people pick cotton, and that's number one job profession right there, cotton picker. Like, I mean, that's on them.
I'm still
Hey,
at the part
man.
where you said
Billy. And so just to let everybody know, they did not actually put the names of the kids in the article because they are underage and they can't do that. So, which is probably best for
So
everybody
if his
involved.
name's actually Billy, lucky guess.
So in Texas, a Texas high school saw dozens of students fill its halls last Wednesday to protest what they said was a school decision to deny a transgender girl the use of the girl facilities. So basically, biological boy identifies as a girl, wanted to use the female locker room, and they told her no because it was for quote unquote actual girls, unquote. First of all, let's just remember we are in Texas, and these people think that 6 weeks is enough to know whether, one, that you're pregnant, and two, that's enough time to determine whether you need an abortion. So I just want to put that out there. Completely different situation, but that's what we're dealing with in Texas. So the protest was peaceful, and stuff like that. Everybody went back to school, and the administration met with the student and her parents to examine the district's quote enrollment of transgender students guidelines, unquote. First of all, I think I'm more shocked that Texas actually has things such as this enrollment of transgender students guidelines, because I mean, if you see what's going on in Texas, I mean, they don't seem like the people who are really all about caring about other people other than themselves. So, with that being said, look at Moby. AG, what are you thinking, man? What are you
I'm
thinking?
thinking that the real issue here is not even about the article in and of itself. It's just the unintended consequences. Unless, and this doesn't include transgender people that have gone all the way with it. If you identify as a boy but you are biologically a girl, and I'm in junior high and you show up in the locker room, I'm not good enough to say that I'm not going to look at you as a girl. I'm not good enough to say that I would look at you even close to neutral. Maybe I wouldn't say anything, but I would be thinking in my mind, I just saw a naked girl. And we were talking about little boys in junior high. So same goes for if I was a little girl and you come into my locker room and you identify as a girl, but you are biologically a boy. I'm going to be thinking all sorts of things, from I'm uncomfortable to wow, what's that, and everything in between. It's murky, to say the least. So that's really the only overriding thought I had about the article, is everything that goes after this. Now, again, I'm not talking about transgender people that have made the complete transition, where you used to have a penis and now you don't anymore. You have a vagina, a man-made one. Or you used to have a vagina, but now you have a man-made penis. You are, you have physical attributes that makes you something else. But people that purely identify as emotionally as the other gender or something other than their biological assignment, that can be rough. And you're putting a lot of other people in a position in which they can't win. So that's all I really thought about this whole thing.
All right, Moby.
I just want to know, when do we have to stop trying to make one or two people feel comfortable at the cost of everybody else being uncomfortable? I appreciate the kids and students wanting to protest this, but I mean, look, we're just in a generation now where they just like protesting, like that protesting is just what they see now. So hey, we don't like something, we protest it. But the logistics of this would be a nightmare. I mean, I get it that this trans person wants to go in the locker room of the sex that they feel like they identify towards. Great, no problem. The only way you can make that work is they can be the only person in there, because you can't make it so that other people might be uncomfortable just to make this person comfortable. I mean, maybe that's not the popular opinion, but that's just the reality of it. And the school has to think about it from that perspective. Like, we can't make a decision that could get us sued by multiple people because one kid's uncomfortable or two kids are uncomfortable. Now, I appreciate the kids because, I mean, oftentimes kids are going to be more progressive than the adults. So I appreciate and respect the fact that it seems like these kids are cool enough with the idea of this trans person, identifying with different sex. But part of me then is skeptical about that because, I mean, they're kids in school. You're going to protest to get out of class? Sure, I'm down for whatever we protesting. We about to walk out of class, right? Let's do it. So, like, I don't even think that's an accurate gauge on how many kids are really down for the cause. And I don't know what the right answer is. I just know I know the right answer can't be that if my 13 or 14-year-old genetically born as a male says identify as a female, you can't just then let them be in the girls' locker room. That it just doesn't work. I mean, maybe the kids are cool with it. What about the kids' parents? Are they cool with that? Like, it's just like you said, it's just all these unintended consequences. And I don't think, first of all, the kids aren't old enough and don't think far enough through to understand these unintended consequences. So that's why they're protesting. And I mean, I get it. Everybody wants to be politically correct. Everybody wants to be on the right side of all of the letters, the LGBT. Everybody wants to be on the right side of the argument when it comes to that. But sometimes you're just wrong. And I'm not saying you're wrong for how you feel to identify with yourself, but sometimes you're wrong if you feel like the mass has to bend to your will because you say so. If that makes me, insensitive, then I guess I'm just insensitive.
All right. I'm very much in the middle with this.
I feel like we all are.
Yeah.
I feel like we all are.
Like, I completely understand everything that Moby just said. And I guess when it's all said and done, at least at this point in time, we have created a world in which, it's the best way to say it, in which we do cater to everyone, supposedly. Fair or unfair. That's the way, unfortunately, our world is. So I can understand as a parent how you would feel if, my daughter who is genetically male went into a girl's bathroom. Like, I get it. But yeah, I don't have an answer. I wish I had an answer, but I don't. I mean, without going with the whole, what do they call it, the family, the one bathroom that caters to both, but then there's only one bathroom, so that's a part of segregation right there. Yeah, at this point in time, I just don't think until all bathrooms become unisex, which will never happen. When we as people are not progressive enough to get to that point as a whole. We're just not. And as much as we would like to be, we're just not. We're just not. And we're never getting there. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel on it. And one more before we get into more fun stuff. So a professor got suspended at UCLA for not giving black students an easier final exam. They reinstated him, so now he's suing UCLA. Now, basically, what happened was he received a text message, email from another student who basically was like, let me get to that point. Requested a no harm final exam, meaning that it would only count if it helped the student's grade. Because the emails basically stated that, quote, we are ready to express our tremendous concern about the impact that this final exam and project will have on the mental and physical health of our black classmates. What? I mean, they asked this, I guess the email is from a non-black student asking that he grade black students with greater leniency in the wake of George Floyd's death and the civil unrest that followed. So the professor did not do so. And then UCLA suspended him. Yeah, they suspended him. And then apparently there was a petition with 20,000 signatures demanding that he be fired. What? So here's the thing, man. Like, I'm going to answer this first, then I'm going to pass it along to y'all. To be honest, as a black person myself, you're at UCLA. If you can't cut it at UCLA, I'm sorry, man. That's not, you should not be receiving any type of leniency because of the color of your skin for that. Because did you get into UCLA because of the color of your skin? Possibly, but you're there because you're smart. They don't let any people who can't handle it there. They just don't. And to say, I don't care who said it, well, you know, you should give them some leniency because they're dealing with George Floyd. I mean, my job didn't give me leniency because I was dealing with George Floyd. I mean, last time I can't, you go to school, that's your job. Man, mess me with that. And I hope he sues them, and I hope he gets money because they're the biggest. They're more boo boo the fool than the kids because they suspended him for doing his job. How you get suspended for doing your job?
Optics.
Optics what?
I just told you. You asked the question, I answered it.
Yeah.
Man, that's dumb.
I mean, you're right. That oversimplification is actually in this case right, but that's the answer. Because I'm like, aren't you doing black folks a public disservice by giving them a lesser? I mean, grading them on a more lenient grading scale.
And also, isn't that insulting?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Not even like doing this disservice. It's insulting to think that we as a people who, okay, as a people, we've dealt with centuries of slavery, oppression, Jim Crow, and because this one, I'm not minimizing it, but because this one dude got pretty much murdered in front of, like, you think now all of a sudden us as black people are just going to crumble? Like, oh no, we can't possibly go on now.
Well, I think we're, based on what you were saying, I think we're much more mentally tough than that. Just saying.
But I was laughing. I was laughing though because this goes perfectly with. Y'all haven't seen episode 2 of Wonder Years, which is obvious because if you would, you would find this so humorous because
now I gotta watch it now.
Yeah, because in the aftermath, all the teachers are like treating him nicer because like he gets a bad grade, and they're like, "Oh, you're still struggling with the Martin Luther King thing. Let's just change this grade for you."
What? Bro.
But I mean, yeah, Ruben, AG's right, man. This is all about optics, man. And you know, I mean, look, I dealt with it at my own job. I mean, you didn't deal with it, even though we work at the same place. But there was a whole bunch of people. Well, I'm sorry, there was a whole bunch of white people on this campaign of how can I be a better white person for black people, and sometimes they just get it wrong. They think, oh well, we need to give you something that will make up for everything, and that's all these white students were trying to do. These white students were like, hey, these black kids need a mental break, because no disrespect to any of them, if they've never been through all of this oppression. So when they see this, there are a lot of white people. The George Floyd things was like the first time they had ever grasped the idea that inequities actually existed like this. So to them, this was like, oh my God, how can you go on after this? And to most black people, we was just like, I mean, shit sucks. But I mean, yeah, I still got this exam. Like, I mean, maybe there was somebody who didn't study because they were protesting or up in arms about what happened. But I don't even think that person expected not to suffer the consequences for that. It just is what it is.
AG?
Oh, I already said my piece. I mean, like I said before, the biggest thing for me is, like Moby said, when you are looking on the outside and you see something that you thought was a fantasy become real, like I know a lot of white folks understand what a ropeless lynching is now because of George Floyd. But to black people, it's like, damn, that happened 2 weeks ago. Oh, that's been happening all summer. Yeah, that's almost. Them it's a shock, because now everything that they said they could pass off is like, you can't gaslight somebody anymore because you just saw it. And when I say gaslight, I want to use that a little lightly, because I don't think that they thought we were being extra. I just thought it's like, that can't actually happen. That's so cruel. But then when you see it play out, it's like, okay, this is for real. I think that can be a shock to the system if you're innocent. So it's the difference between, somebody who's been in a war and see people get killed every day, and somebody who has not seen anybody get killed ever. There's a big difference in mentality. So, but the idea that any of those things should make a teacher give leniency in a grading, or leniency in the test as it counts towards your grade is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, just because we went through some oppression don't mean we're idiots. If we're not prepared, we deserve that F. But again, man, and this guy's a white dude, which makes it even worse. You can't do your job sometimes when you're a white dude. Depending on the situation, sometimes public pressure can have you doing some stuff that is foul, but you end up having to do it or get punished if you don't. So either way, this dude can't really win. But the bottom line is, he did his job. I'm glad he has his job back. I'm glad he's suing, because essentially it was like, you ain't make it easy for black people. Black people don't need that kind of press.
I'm glad he didn't.
Me too, because
I hope he sued them for a grip.
Exactly.
He said this cost, because he lost his jobs as a consultant for, the work that he does outside of being a professor. He lost his job as a consultant because they fired him or stopped using him because technically he had been terminated from his school. So they probably were like, hey, we can't have you consulting for us, because they don't ask for the details of why you were terminated from your
It's all about
university.
the optics, baby. It's all about the optics, as AG said. But here's something I want to bring up, which I thought was interesting, because they express their tremendous concern, blah blah blah. Hey, how about you give us a quote no harm final exam, aka how about you give me a no harm final exam, because I'm about to fail this bitch. So like, how it could have been he used the guise of all this to try to get out of failing.
But that's the thing. He said just for the black students. He wasn't like this white person wasn't even trying to. I thought he said he just wanted for the black students to have a no harm exam.
Nope. He said he requested a no harm exam, meaning that it would only count if it helps a student's grade. He did not specifically say black student, which basically means like, hey, if you don't take it, you get what you get. But if you do take it and you fail it, it doesn't hurt you. So like, that's my thing is like, hold on, because if it was for black students, now it might have been inferred that it was for black students, but his words were, hey, just give us a no harm exam. Give us a no harm exam, not give the black kids a no harm exam, because let's be real, if you gave the black kids no harm exam, last time I checked, that would be some sort of favoritism. Which means on top of all that, you would have to throw that exam out because it wouldn't be fair, because the white kids would be like, well, why'd you do that for them and not for us? That's why he asked for a no harm exam for anybody. Man, this dude tried to use this so he couldn't fail.
I mean, I think you read it wrong. I'm reading it right now. And he said the email said was asking to decline grade black students with greater leniency in the wake of Floyd's death.
Yeah, right under this says, we are writing to express our tremendous concern about the impact that this final exam and project will have on the mental and physical health of our black classmates. The student wrote, the student whose name was not released then requested a no harm final exam that would only count if it helped the student's grade. Not a black student's grade. Now that may have been inferred. And then furthermore, on top of this, hey, wait a minute, exam and project? Right, so you can't do the exam, but you can finish the project. Man, get out of here with that, man. This dude was trying to get him. Smart, though. I guess that's why he's at UCLA. I think he tried to get him. And now he got this dude jacked up. And once again, he's going to sue. He's probably going to win for an unspecified amount of damages, and we'll never hear about it again. And he'll probably quit. Because if I'm him, if I can go somewhere else, why not?
I mean, yeah, he could quit, or he could stay there and just be untouchable.
I mean, that's true too.
Yeah, he could sue for tenure.
just be untouchable.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like, the thing about it to me was, like, UCLA buckled under some shit that they clearly didn't vet properly. So yeah, I understand the optics, but to me the optics are now worse, because basically you buckled under 20,000 signatures instead of following your rules of education. You buckled over 20,000 signatures.
But you can't do that, man. I'm telling you, in the right situation, especially when you start throwing race around,
they just panicked, man. That's all it was.
Yeah.
The school panic.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying to you. That's a lot of power in those types of signatures, especially when they're coming from white students.
And especially in the climate, like I said, there was a whole bunch of white people out there trying to be down for the cause, or trying to prove that they were down for the cause. And the school was like, "Yo, we're not trying to get no negative publicity," and they made a dumbass decision.
And they got
panicking.
Now they got that negative, so it's like, what a damn they do, a damn they don't, I guess. So awesome. Enough about them, because smart people be doing dumb shit sometimes. So all right. Now we are at our new segment.
You
are.
So this new segment is a segment that I will do, because the other one was okay, but I didn't really like it as much. This fits me a little better. It is simply called F That Guy. And basically, every week, some guy's getting F'd for whatever reason. So
can we reword that? Can we? It's like,
no.
Let's clean that up a bit. Basically, this is the exact same segment as was before, except now we're just specifying that he actually target individuals for his hatred and not just randomly be out there throwing hatred at the world.
Well, no. I mean,
This is essentially, Ruben, why you mad? F that guy.
I choose to target, and I choose to target anything I want. Period.
I say we let him do what he wants to do.
Damn it. So what I decided to do is I decided to do my top 5 F that guys. So next week we'll start off with something brand new. It'll only be one a week, but this week I want to start off with my top 5 F that guys because these people suck. Now it was told to me that I had to use a real person, but F that. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. So, number 5, F Christopher Robin, yo.
Bro, you saying F that to a fictitious character.
So what, man? F that. It's my show. Do what I want.
It's my show.
So, we all know the hate I have for Christopher Robin. And
nobody understands it. We all know it, but nobody quite understands it.
What do you mean you don't understand? It's very simple. Christopher Robin had no control of the animals down there, and he was a punk. They punked him consistently, and I don't like him. And he always used to get Pooh in trouble. Pooh didn't do shit. Pooh was just chilling out with his one shirt, his onesie, and his honey, man. That's all he was doing.
Hey,
and here comes Chris.
Did that make it any clearer for you?
Here comes Christopher Robin. The dude loved Tips of Tigger, and that's what it is.
You a grown ass man saying F a fictitious cartoon kid.
Why are you questioning me?
I'm not questioning you. I just wanted to put it out there. Please continue with your irrational hatred.
Thank you. All right. Number 4. Yo, man. This is just a group review. I don't like you. Just because obvious reasons. Yo, man, F pedophiles, dog. Really? Like, especially those who teach. Get out of here with that, man. How are you 30-some-year-old messing with some 14-year-old school kid? Really? Especially if you married and got kids. Man, go F yourself. I ain't got time for you. So F them. F pedophiles. Completely. Comments?
I mean, I guess because, like,
don't we all hate pedophiles?
I was about to say, like, your hatred was supposed to be exclusive to you.
No, this is exclusive to. This is my hatred. But if y'all hate them too, it's okay. I'm not gonna be mad at y'all. But if you don't hate them, that's cool too. But I'm just saying, hey man, and this is my all time. So this is number 4.
Okay,
so it's whatever.
Understood.
Number 3, yo man, F Chris Collinsworth, man. I hate his voice. I hate what he talks about, and God knows the fact that he is on TV more often than not is annoying as hell. So yeah, F Chris Collinsworth. I don't like him. Well, shut up, Chris. You saying a whole bunch of nothing. Not a fan. And your voice sucks. So
and your voice sucks.
Number 2.
I ain't gonna lie though, I don't like Chris Collinsworth either because I hate how he gets stuck in the middle of his sentence. And,
you went to college. You graduated from college. Get out of here.
Actually, graduated from law school.
And he can't talk. Go figure. Just another reason to hate that dude. Number 2, yo man. Yo, F you shitty drivers in the DMV, man. Bruh. I mean, it's called a signal light. Use it. Like, hey, I don't mind if you want to get over, but there are rules, man. Hey, if we're trying to get over to one line, one car goes, the other car goes. One car goes, the other car goes. That's rules of the world, asshat. When you trying to scoot in, no, that's not what it does, you ass. Stop it. You can't drive. Hey, I'm driving 75. I'm already speeding. And you go past me like I'm just standing still? Bruh. People can't drive around here. They're terrible. They're terrible. And they're just terrible. F them. And number 1 of the F that list, the forever F that list, who will be number 1? Ah, damn it. I knew I forgot somebody.
You did. I mean, nah, keep going because
I want
Nah.
to see who this is. I want to see who this
you
is.
used that whack ass
So it's a tie.
DMV thing.
So it's a tie because I hate both of these people so terribly. First of
How
all,
how you gonna put them on the same level, bro?
man, they all on the same level, man. Trust me, they are. First of all, Blair Underwood, F you. What? You not from Petersburg, dog? Oh, I'm from DC.
He's from DC, man.
I grew up in New York. I was in the main streets of New York. Negro, your picture is hanging in Petersburg High School. Bruh.
Okay, in all fairness, did he ever spend any significant time in his formative years in DC?
Who cares?
I'm just asking a
I
question.
don't. He graduated from Petersburg fucking high school.
Well,
and
you
his
can
pictures in the high school.
just showing up your senior year. I just want to know if he lives somewhere else.
His family lives in Petersburg, man. The fool grew up in fucking Petersburg. His sisters went to camp. Nah, man.
He's the
That
second
guy,
in
man.
command on Sequest.
Yo, man. How about you claim where you at, bitch? I mean, I've been wanting to say that for years. Claim where you from. From DC.
He did, man. He from DC,
Yeah,
man.
fuck that nigga, man. Oh,
Wow.
Wait a minute, like that escalated quick.
sorry. I don't really talk about him much, but yeah, F him, man. How you just gonna tell the world that you came from DC?
Because he
Negro.
can. I mean,
Negro, your sister had a crush on my brother. Stop it. Hate that mom. That guy's killing me. So, and first of all, Sequest, Moko, I had more respect for you. Sequest, dog, you watch that shit? Enough of that.
now Moco Cowboy's on the list too.
God. And the other tie for number one. Yo, man, it's not him personally,
There
but
it is. There it
yo,
is.
man, F. Morris Chestnut character, man.
How can it not be personal? And
Man,
you just compared him with Blair Underwood, who you have a personal hatred for, and then you said it's not personal, but F. Morris Chestnut.
that's because I don't actually know him. But fuck the
You
characters.
don't know Blair Underwood
That-
either.
That's not the point. You need to rep Petersburg, bitch. Like,
That's not the point.
how you gonna be from Petersburg and not rep where you from? That's all I'm saying. If I was like, yo, man, I'm from Richmond, bitch,
Hell,
I grew
he's
up in
ashamed of
Petersburg.
Petersburg. I'm just saying.
Well, then he needs to shut the F up. Where he from then?
Well, he's somebody probably
I'm from
asked
somewhere
him.
else, man. He needs to say DC. At least Chris Brown said he from Tappahannock.
I mean, because
Isn't that true?
is where
Isn't
he's
that the
from.
Richmond area?
Yeah, but he says he's Tappahannock. I mean, Underwood ain't never said he's from Petersburg. Fuck him. So, God, man.
Okay, what's worse, Blair Underwood saying he's from DC and not claiming Petersburg, or Russell Wilson always saying he's from a small town, Richmond, Virginia?
At least he says he's from Richmond.
Well, at least he said it was the Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, the man's from what? Goochland or some shit? I wouldn't tell nobody else from Goochland either.
What's wrong with Goochland?
Bruh.
Probably the
Goochland.
same thing wrong with Petersburg,
I
right?
mean, no.
There's
Bitch, we got
nothing wrong with Petersburg.
we got
or
a
Goochland.
Walmart.
What's the problem, man?
So you really still put Morris Chestnut and Blair Underwood on the same level?
Morris Chestnut characters.
You mad at Morris Chestnut for playing good roles?
I'm mad at him for never losing. Kim.
And
He
show
got
he's on now
shot.
for good, too.
So what? He's 114, 102, 102, man. I'm saying everybody else got to go through hell. How many times has Samuel Jackson been shot in his life? You know, in movies.
He hadn't spent a lot of time dying in his films. I'm just saying.
Man, I feel like Samuel Jackson dies a lot.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, let's try
No,
this.
you're just talking about like how he died in Deep Blue Sea,
Which was
so
awesome.
iconically.
Which was awesome. He also died in Jungle Fever.
Okay, that's twice.
I mean, then he almost died in The Winter Soldier. But
I'm
then
saying
they had
that's
to bring
also
him
not
back.
fair. Samuel Jackson been in like 6,000 movies. Like
So
you're gonna die in a couple of them.
Hey, well, what about that time that John Travolta got killed, but Samuel L. Jackson didn't get killed?
who cares about John Travolta?
What? never mind.
I don't care.
I
about
didn't
Ja
know what I'm
Rule.
talking right now.
And he's not on my list.
Why you so mad at Morris Chestnut though, man? I just think you don't like him because he dark skinned. That's what it is. You one of them.
Wow.
Why can't be one of
You,
them?
you gotta stop. You gotta stop oppressing us dark skinned people, man.
You say us.
Wow.
Moby
Ladies
said
and-
us with his light ass.
Moby is officially dark skinned.
He got red hair talking about us.
Moby is
dark
officially
skin.
dark skinned. Tiger Woods is officially black.
He on this
Shizzle.
podcast live.
So
he didn't get a passport. He didn't get a passport to black people. Don't worry about that.
I mean,
That is so funny. Oh my
I
god.
mean, when Tico's passport says color, it says brown. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, okay.
So
He's us.
he
That was
mixed.
hilarious, man. Oh my god.
So-
Y'all killing me tonight.
Man, it's okay. But that's my top 5 of F them guys. And every week I will have a new F them guy. So be on the lookout.
F them guy.
Don't be on that F them guy list.
I mean, but you can be on that F that guy list for not doing anything wrong, just existing or winning.
Because all
Or
Morris
succeeding.
is doing is his job, and you still won't acknowledge Ricky. Not really.
I mean, he died once, man.
He got shot in the back, and it came out the front, dude.
Not,
Come
not
on,
even
man.
that. He died in that, and then in the movie, his wife died on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
And then what he do the next day?
he delivered a baby.
Oh man,
Wait,
what the
how is that fair in exchange?
when one life goes, another one comes up.
But how is that fair exchange?
I mean,
So he's winning now because he delivered a baby the day after his wife died.
hey man,
But see, this is the hate.
So
we
you would
wanted.
feel like a winner if like your wife died and you delivered
why
somebody's
are we
baby
talking
the next
about
day.
me? Why are we talking about me?
Only thing I'm saying, Moby, this is the hate we wanted from him, so I'm not going to complain about it.
I mean,
F
3
that
out of
guy.
5 ain't bad.
F that guy. Jesus.
I think Morris needs to be on the show.
That'd be awesome.
And you know what? I believe if Morris Chestnut called in on the show, I think Ruben would not say anything.
If Morris Chestnut called on the show, I would probably pass out.
Exactly. You wouldn't have anything to say. All that little hate you had would go away.
Nah, I'd probably be like, "Yo, man, can you take a real role and die?
No, you wouldn't.
Stop out here faking it for all these
Well,
women."
you couldn't even respond to my wife, man. You would not respond to no Morris Chestnut if he was on the show.
What do you mean? What do you, man?
On the best
man.
of, the
Yeah,
first best of we had.
I think you would nut up if Morris Chestnut was like, "Hey, dog, I was Ricky. I got shot, man. What you talking about?"
Man, but Ricky was dumb. He won't go make it no way. So whatever.
He had a scholarship.
He had a scholarship, man.
He had an
was the one-
athletic scholarship.
he was the one that was gonna make it out.
Really?
And
He
he
had
did.
an athletic scholarship. Now we're gonna play that.
He did have an athletic scholarship.
No,
was
but you
not-
said it like it was a half a scholarship. Don't even worry
mean,
about that.
come on,
Oh,
man.
so since he didn't have academic,
I mean, I'm
scholarship,
about to say, like, dang, like some
Bruh.
of us play sports in college.
Hold
That
on,
don't
hold on
mean we
for-
dumb.
Hold on for a second, man. Are we about to sit here and say that Ricky was intelligent on that movie? I mean, let's be real.
I mean,
Okay.
what evidence do you have to believe he was stupid?
What evidence you have to believe he was not?
I mean, so wait a minute. So if somebody doesn't give you any indication of intellect, you automatically assume they dumb.
I mean, Ice
Even though
Cube even called him stupid.
he had to qualify to at least get into school.
I mean, I'm not. Yo, man, everybody get a 2.0.
and he had to have 700 SATs back then.
I mean,
so.
he probably didn't take his own.
Damn, you
That's
done
a-
created a whole narrative for a fictitious
right?
character just so you can maintain this bullshit level of hatred you have for him.
And no, Moko Cowboy is not 1C. I just don't understand why he is watching anything called Sequest, because nobody's watching that. Now,
Apparently he was.
I mean, yeah. Sorry about your life.
Sorry
I mean,
about you.
look, I know some of the trash that you watch on TV, so I don't know if you want to do that to anybody.
Hey,
I don't know if you want to do that to anybody.
I back up my trash. But that's beside the point. I like Moko Cowboy. He just, I mean, yeah, and I agree with him. Yeah, one of the winning things on TV was the Monday Night Football with the Mannings. Yo, that ish was hilarious, especially when LeBron was up there and they were talking about LeBron playing football. That joint was hilarious. And then when Nick Saban was up there and it was boring as hell because Jalen Hurts was getting his ass beat up, so they couldn't really talk all the good stuff they want to talk about Jalen Hurts. And Nick Saban was kind of dry like normal. And then I think last week,
I wish Nick Saban would have did a D's nuts joke though.
yeah.
I just wish he would have done at least one. Come on, you gotta give us one.
But then last week, Eli double flipped on national TV. That joke was hilarious. Eli's the winner on that show, by the way. Eli's hilarious. He is everything Peyton is not, including the forehead. So, all right. So the next thing I want to get into is, so we've had 100 episodes, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember everyone. Nobody does. So what we decided to do, and our list will probably be the same in some parts, our top 5 funniest or greatest moments on this show individually. So let's start with AG, since he's heard this show more than anybody because he does the ones and twos and makes it sound beautiful for everybody. So AG, your top 5 moments on the show.
Top 5, number 1, Morris Chestnut.
That was hilarious.
That was freaking hilarious, man.
My hate was on 1,000.
Man, when I was going to work checking the reference against other shows, I was in the car crying. I thought I was going to pull over. I couldn't see. I was just like snot balls coming out, man. I was like, oh my God, it's so funny. So that's my number 1. Number 2 is when you went on a rant about toilet paper. This is when COVID first went down. About a couple months in.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, man. You started arguing with me about 1-ply. I said, Ruby, you use it twice as much because you ain't using 2-ply. I was like, oh, my God, that was funny. 12.
I think that's going to be on all of our lists. Cause
the joke that keeps giving.
Man, because it's not, I can't even, I felt bad for putting it down because it wasn't a segment. You put the YouTube video on.
We talked about it. It was a segment.
Well, I mean, it was, but it was like last minute. And you're like, no, man, just watch the video. I said, man, I wanted to just watch the video. Man, I watched that. I was through. And all I can say that entire episode was 12.
I mean, that was the name of the episode.
I mean, that is how many years is in a decade, right?
I'm an honest student at Nance River High School, bro.
I don't know if she said honor student. She said she's a graduate, but
no,
I don't know if she said honor.
She said honor. I remember her saying honor. That's what made it even worse.
How many years? 12.
And then listen to the rest of the people try to figure out how many years is in a century. The greatest thing ever.
Man. So my number 4 is the tree story. Moby's telling his childhood story about when the kid hit the tree and he faked it. How do you forget about that? That lasted 2 or 3 episodes. That episode got on because Moby felt like no one believed him, and so he had to get on and confirm it all. And man, I think I don't know what was funnier or scarier was his response to it all. It wasn't shock and horror. It was, how do I get out of this? And if I get caught, I'm never gonna get anything again.
Man, I was a kid, man. I didn't care about thinking about. I won't think about nobody else.
Man, that was something else.
Why I gotta be on punishment for the rest of my life just because this dude died?
Just because this dude died. Oh my God, that is so sociopathic. Oh boy, that was hilarious. So my number 5 is when Moby was talking, and this was a show we did together, and I don't think it was a thing. I think it was a little part of an article that we were doing, but it sparked something in you, and you started talking about the new math your daughter was doing, and how oppressive it was because you got there in 4 steps, and hers was like 2 pieces of paper, and she nailed it because of you. But y'all got the same answer.
Got the same damn answer.
Yo, man, do you know how many people I told about that? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yo, that is.
And anybody with kids who's helped the kids do homework in the last probably 10 years realize, like, why the hell are they doing all this work?
Square roots, man. Square roots, baby.
Well, those are my 5. All of them were equally as funny. I think I judged them just like the first 3 came right away. The last 2, I just were reminded, but all of them resulted in me crying. So that was my requirement, and they filled it famously. So those are my 5.
All right. So before I go to Mo B, I had a comment on the Facebook page. So Morris is worse than a pedophile.
I was thinking that, but somebody else, I guess somebody else heard it too. Because I'm like, yo, Morris Chestnut, Blair Underwood, and Bad Drivers, and Chris Collinsworth are all worse than pedophiles.
Yes.
I mean,
The fact that you don't even say no more. Let's move on. The fact that you said "I mean" after that statement
It tells it all.
all right. So
Now this has become the greatest segment ever. F that guy.
hey, man. So
hey, so if you don't claim Petersburg, if you don't dine your movies, if you don't drive well in the DMV, you are worse than somebody who's out here boinking little kids.
That is what you said, essentially.
I mean, I've been told not.
This
to say anything
5-minute
about my
warning with
lawyer.
Ruben Brown.
My lawyer has told me not to speak on this matter anymore.
Dude, you don't have a lawyer. Just
You don't know
saying.
what I have, sir.
I kind of do. You don't have one of those.
I mean, they're right over here.
They're
They're-
right over here.
His name is Tom Brady. He tells me to shut up, so I'm what I'm doing. And yes, Kaviako, they straight murdering these trees with that new math. Yes, the
Yeah,
paper that's being used. Like I don't even know what it looks like, and I'm almost scared to ask.
bro,
So-
it's ridiculous, man.
All right,
Like they really creating long division.
the long division is already long enough. Damn.
She wrote down some stuff. It's like long division, and I'm looking over there. I'm like, why are you multiplying shit? Wait a minute. Why are we multiplying, adding, subtracting, and what? How
What?
did we do 4 other steps before we even started doing the long division,
Man, you got to show me that one day.
bro? No, I don't. No, I don't.
Some things you don't need to see.
I ain't got enough room in my car for them notebooks, man.
Wow.
Oh man. All right, Moby, your turn. Your top 5 greatest misses on the show.
Greatest misses. Damn. Like,
Wow.
No, greatest
All right.
hits, man. Greatest hits.
So my number 5 one was the new math one though, because like I just really I have real passion towards that. So I know it probably came off very humorous, and I just want everybody to know I'm dead ass serious about that. That was not meant to be funny. That's exactly what happened. Like it was every time she asked me to help her with math homework, I cringe, man, because I'm just like, don't do this to me. Like just she's in advanced placement math now too, and I'm like,
She's in the 4th grade.
yeah.
What is advanced placement math in the 4th grade?
Bro, when you doing 28 steps for each problem, everything looks like an equation. I thought she was doing trigonometry, and I realized no, she's just multiplying double-digit numbers.
What, 11 times 11 times 11 times 11 times 0 equals
0.
Bro,
well,
20.
11 times 11 is 122 times
They're
0
doing like it's like 46 times 24, but when you let her start writing it, yo, it'd be like 300 steps.
What happened to the never mind.
Just keep
I'm
moving.
yeah,
Keep
just
moving.
Just
yeah.
keep moving.
All right, so the number 4 one was actually the tree story but it's not really just the tree story. It was really when E came up there because it was funny to hear him tell the story from his perspective, and I felt validated that there was actually somebody out there who's literally saying that I wasn't making the shit up.
But my thing with you was, why would you think we thought you were lying?
It wasn't y'all. I had other people who, like, first of all, I didn't know some of the people listening to the show, and they was like, "Bro, that was funny as hell, but it can't be true." And I'm like, "Why would I make that shit up?
Okay, I didn't know that.
Like, why would I make it up?"
Man, that was hilarious. Oh,
My mom listened to that episode and she was like, "Yeah, why do people think you were making that up?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's not nothing in that story made me look good. It ain't like I was out here making myself look great in the story."
You look fly. You look good.
No.
Sorry.
You done?
Yeah. Okay.
wow.
I just had
You
two lines,
done.
man.
You done.
All right, the other one, which wasn't really a funny moment, but it was like one of my favorite moments, was when we did the My Five and we picked songs that described ourselves.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
And because we, I felt like that was really cool because I thought it was really weird that y'all picked one of the same songs, the Walking on Sunshine song. I was like,
Yeah, I heard that the other day. Actually, I heard it today.
because the funny thing is, like, I absolutely got it for Ruben, and I totally didn't see it coming for you, AG. Like, just no, not at all.
Yeah, that's the song, man. That was a jam. I remember when that came out when I was a kid. I was like, yo, okay.
Not at all. I did not. When you said it, I was like, not at all did I expect that coming from you.
It did.
I think my favorite moment, though, so this is my top one. My favorite moment was AG going off about why did I get married to?
Oh man,
Because me and Ruben had talked about the subject before, so we just kind of sprung it on you, and then like you just went in on it like with a passion that neither one of us thought was coming.
how could
Like,
you not think that was going to happen? How could you not think that was going to
We
happen?
just didn't know because we felt the same way.
we felt the same way. And I thought I was gonna be the loud vocal one, and like by the time you got done, all I could do was be like the hype man in the background, and be like, "Yeah."
Man,
I mean, that's probably the most passionate you have talked about any subject up here.
Oh my god!
I believe that.
Like you've talked about the BS Republicans and you've called people punk ass bitches before, but
BABs.
never had you talked with so much passion when you talked about why did I get married to? Like it was like we opened up like some cheat code to you. It was like I thought you was gonna give us like that bull guy and Mike Tyson punch out. Like I thought you was gonna charge us a couple times, throw a uppercut, and be good. But no, you went straight into Mike Tyson the first 30 seconds where every time he touches you, he knocks you out. Like you was passionate about that.
I was. And it don't matter how many times you ask me about it, man, because it's like, oh my God, being rewarded for poor behavior. Oh,
Kebiako's like, yes, AG didn't wait till the question finished.
He didn't. Like, hey, what do you think about why? Let me tell you.
that's some old bullshit.
Tyler Perry should be strung up by his nuts for making that role.
Man.
Poor Tyler Perry. His ears must have been on fire that day, boy.
I don't think I'm the only one talking that way, but yeah, probably.
Well, none of us were cool.
Tyler Perry don't care about y'all. He didn't make that for us.
Nope. Sure didn't. And that was the smartest thing I'd ever heard. And I really didn't think about that. He is not making these movies for men at all because he got a lot of man issues, and it shows. So just saying,
he needs to keep those man issues to himself.
You
Why?
can't
Shoot, them
$1 trillion off of that.
And I said them issues are taking them all the way to the bank.
For real.
When people talk trash about Tyler Perry, I be mad as hell. I'm like, bro, you know this dude, the smartest dude in the room.
Yes, sir. Just saying.
I mean, I'll disagree. All right. Thank you, Mo B. So, my top 5. Of course, was at the 12 joint. That was number 5 for me because that joint was hilarious. I mean, literally, it started off at the beginning. Like that wasn't even like supposedly the beginning of the show, but AG couldn't get control of himself, so we had to start the show with that. And it was just like, calm down. I couldn't even. It was. Oh,
I'm
God.
so sorry I ruined it, but I didn't.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
You
bro.
weren't sorry about that.
I wasn't. I mean, I was because you're trying to get through the show, but I just couldn't let it go, man. 12? That was a shock to my system, bro. I'm like, these are like adults. What?
And you didn't even want to listen to it. You didn't want to watch the video. Guess what?
I know it was. You know what? I'm so glad you made me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Number 4. Yo, man, we go off on tangents way too much, but bruh, the Ooze and Noodles tangent, Moby. We're supposed to be talking about dudes getting a shot for Ooze and Noodles, and you just took this into the whole new. Yo, man, which ones are pretty good? Nah, these are terrible. Next thing you know, we're all talking about how good the damn things are and how much we don't care.
I
And
said what I said.
I mean, it's just like, come on, man. Like we rarely even talked about the dudes in prison getting them. And I guess they're giving away 900 packages or something or whatever.
First of all, it's important to know if you was getting the chicken, shrimp, or the beef, because I wouldn't do shit for the beef. I'm not saying I wouldn't eat the beef, but I mean, you're not about to get me to do no extra shit for the beef. And anybody who feels that they would do extra stuff for the beef, you know what? You need to look at the mirror and you need to. Do you feel good about yourself? You know what I'm saying? You feel good about yourself that you would sell yourself anything for the beef flavored ramen noodles. Matter of fact, the fact that if you volunteer to eat the beef flavored ramen noodles and you just ain't starving and ain't shit else in the house, I question you.
Side eye.
So, like I said what I said, man. You can say we went off on a tangent. No, man, I was speaking my truth.
Okay. Number 3 for me was Pooh. When we talked about when we had this is like episode 17.
Oh,
I mean,
I like how you say we. It's like
you wasn't on that one, was it?
Yeah, he wasn't on that one. Yeah, AG boy.
Oh,
I went in on the whole Pooh situation. Like,
he
you
went
want
all
to know
the way
why I hate
Smithfield Hammond on that, boy.
Because I hate Tigger, man, with a passion. Like, I hate that dude.
That's what tickers do best. all the stereotypical black things. That's what tickers do best.
Man, I hate
Show
that.
up late, be loud, more athletic. That's what tickers do best.
I hate Tiggers, man. I hate Tiggers. Oh God,
Come over, try to get your food. That's what tickers do best.
I mean, man, that was like 30 minutes of whatever.
Oh yeah, that's when y'all was still doing them marathon podcasts.
Yeah, like 3 hours long.
Hey man, whatever. The I Hate Star Wars is number 2. And that was all because of AG's wife. She put up that whack post about Star Wars, and
what was the whack post about Star Wars?
I don't remember, but that's
it was probably something simple like "May the Fourth be with you."
Yeah, it was something dumb. No, it was something like that, and I just went F Star Wars or something.
But the funny thing about that to me was when he had a chance to respond to her, he had nothing.
I don't like to break up happy homes, man.
You're not breaking up no happy home.
I mean, but I didn't know that at the time, so I'm just saying.
Move on, Ruben. Move on.
And see, now you don't want to hear my reason why I didn't do it. But, and of course, I mean, when I had to bare my soul about how much I disdain Morris Chestnut and the characters that he picks and how he never loses, for me personally, that was immense. Like I could have paid somebody to tell that story, but I told it on my podcast, and it made me feel so much better afterwards. Just saying. Y'all laugh, but I feel so much better now that I got that off my chest.
Was it
y'all joke
therapeutic for
before?
you?
It was very therapeutic, man.
Cathartic even?
Yep. I hate that
Okay.
dude.
All right.
Hate that dude. So, but the problem is, like, there's so many like Moby's story. I mean, that easily could have made it up here. It's so many funny things that have happened on this show. And so what I did is episode 24.1 and the 2 best ofs, I put that on the front page of our webpage. So if you want to go back and listen to a lot of the funny stuff, go to www.5minutewarner.com, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see those shows where you can listen and you can laugh and you can understand what the craziness we're talking about. And hey, man, 100 episodes down. It's time to keep moving. So when it's all said and done, AG, what else is on your mind, bro?
Well, what else is on my mind is this show. And I just want to thank you personally, Mo B personally, for having me on the show, because the show has definitely changed me from an audio standpoint, much better than I was when I started. I think you posing questions and I think Mo B's perspective on things has probably helped me go deeper into social ills from a Black perspective, social ills for social ill's sake, because you just think differently and you make people think when you say stuff. So from that perspective alone, I appreciate being on this show, and I appreciate you wanting me on the show. Just in general, I thought it was very kind of you. So I'm glad to be 100 episodes in. I wasn't obviously I wasn't on each one, but I do appreciate you allowing me to be here. So thank you, sir.
And I appreciate you being here. And you know, I appreciate your wife for being on the one episode that she's ever been on. Hopefully we can make that too one day.
Yeah, no.
I know. I gotta ask, man.
I know.
I gotta ask.
And she appreciates it, but no.
All right.
I mean, my mom's still trying to get back on.
Oh, I would love to have your mama on. Oh, give her a microphone. Oh, man.
I don't know if you want that movie.
Because she thinks she gonna be back on TV, y'all.
Yeah, she thinks she's gonna be on TV in the YouTubes. Florida.
Yeah. I mean, she just rolled up in your spot. Was like, "What's going on here?"
Trying to get her hair straight. That was funny.
All right, Moby, what's on your mind, bro?
Look, man. I've been AG sent out something to us. With Bugs Bunny basically chopping off Florida from the U.S. I mean, I guess me and Bugs agree. U.S. stops at Georgia. But what's on my mind is, man, I've been trying to get myself up to date on international affairs. So there's actually a website called Florida Daily, and they just have all the crazy stuff that goes on in the U.S. territory of Florida. And I mean, man, you can't make this shit up, man.
No.
There's a Florida woman stabbed her sister with an EpiPen because she said she was allergic to drunks. That shit really happened. A Florida man stole his girlfriend's ring to propose to his other girlfriend. Shit happened in Florida, man.
Ricky Rubin.
Shit happened in Florida, man.
Oh,
you can't
God.
yo, man. So look, man, I just need y'all to stay up to date on international affairs, man. And
Do we really need to stay up to date on that?
no, you need to stay up there because I don't want people to think I just be up here hating on Florida just for no reason. I ain't hating on Florida. I just do you really want Florida to be part of your country? I mean, besides Disney World and South Beach, and T-Pain. I mean, but
No plies, man. We can't have plies.
we can import our music. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole bunch of musicians from Canada. We don't claim they from us here. I'm cool. Let's just keep Florida as an import territory. We import what we need. We ignore the shit that which is like 80% of it. Let's just ignore that shit, man. U.S. stops at Georgia, man, forever.
Oh God.
Hey,
For life.
For life, man.
Hey man, Bugs Bunny let you know he took a saw.
Took us all. Yo,
Cut it
that
right
man,
off.
that cartoon character had vision, man.
God.
I saw that and I had to put it on.
Bruh, stabbed her sister with the EpiPen. Said that she's allergic to drunks.
That's
Bruh,
the reason.
You know how bold you gotta be to steal your girlfriend's ring and propose to your other girlfriend with it?
There's nothing I can say on that. Except that it only happens in Florida. Even though Texas is catching up.
I don't think Texas has a chance.
Texas wants to be its own territory anyway, so it's kind of unfair to exclude Texas because they want to be excluded anyway. Florida actually proactively wants to be a part of the U.S. and we should have no parts of it.
We should have no parts of it. So you're saying passport only, huh?
Passport only, man.
That's right.
I mean, make it a U.S. territory, man. It's cool.
Oh,
So wait a
God.
minute, we make that U.S. territory. Can we now like promote Puerto Rico?
Man, I
please?
told you all a couple episodes ago, man. Let's just do a trade.
Who we trade with?
Just trade Florida,
We're gonna
Puerto
promote
Rico.
Puerto Rico to state
Yeah.
state status.
We'll,
and
we'll
we're
put Florida back on the practice squad.
gonna practice squad.
we'll sign Puerto Rico. Because we
Oh,
still
wow.
want to have 50. We still want to have 50 states on the roster. So
Or we got to remake the flag.
just
we
demote
don't.
Florida.
No, we don't. It's 1 for 1. Still 50.
No, I'm saying if we don't promote Puerto Rico, we only have
We are going to
49.
promote Puerto Rico. Makes
Yeah.
more
That's what I'm
sense.
saying. We just pick up Puerto Rico.
Oh, sorry, just force. That's what happens, man. You say Puerto Rico, that's what happens. Awesome.
U.S. stops at Georgia.
Gotta get that on the shirt.
It really is.
All right,
Trademark that yet? You need to get on it. Man.
man. I could tell you, but it's not worth it right now. So I mean, I guess for me, man, as far as what's on my mind, 100 episodes, and in 3 weeks it'll be 2 years. I mean, we've put out a lot of content, and the majority of it is awesome. I feel like some statements need to be made. Like, one, we're not all bad people. I think we're pretty intelligent black men who have a keen idea on what's going on in our own worlds. Two, we don't hate white people or anybody else for that matter. We do hate stupid people. That's legit. If they don't, I do. I can't stand stupid people. And when it's all said and done, I just think that the fact that we talk about what the other part of the world does that you don't necessarily see on the news or on page 6, and just the true deep down craziness of our world is where we live, and it's cool that we talk about it. It is cool that people listen. 100 episodes is partially because of us, but mostly because there are people who actually listen to it, which shocks me every day.
Yeah, still amazes me.
Yeah. And I appreciate everyone who listens to it, whether you listen to 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 episode, or more than that. I appreciate those who've told their friends about it. I appreciate those who looked at that and be like, what the hell is that? I mean, I appreciate those like, man, this shit sucks. Thanks for listening. We'll take that listen. I mean, I just appreciate everybody and everything. I definitely appreciate Moby and AG. It's so hard to do a show like this without people who are not like yourself. Because if I wanted to do a show with people like myself, nobody would listen to this shit. And I still don't think people listen to it for me anyway. Everybody listens to shit from OB, and that's cool because I give him a platform, and I'm fine with that.
Don't be bashful. It's true.
right.
I mean, but when it's all said and done, I just feel like that, almost 2 years ago, I went on vacation and I came back and decided I want to do a podcast. Yo, man, this stuff isn't hard, man. And I think everybody should at least give themselves the opportunity to put their opinion out there in some sort of way, whether it's just for you or just for everybody else to consume it. I mean, I've chosen to have everybody consume it. So there's a good, there's a bad, there's a plus, there's a minus. I remember, I think episode 3, I got an email saying, yo, I didn't appreciate what you talked about that. And I was like, oh, there are people who actually listen to this shit?
Okay. That's right. Moby's a sexist.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So episode 3, I got my first email and I had to apologize on air for that. And I did. And that was cool and everything. And, because I didn't mean what I said. I don't think. I just don't remember what it is right now. But it's one of those things where I wanted to talk about things that I wanted to talk about. And I did not have the ability to do so in a position I was in formerly. And now I'm in a position I am now. I can speak on it So, because if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of opinionated. Just saying. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who's given any time to this show. I appreciate the guests that we've had on this show ever since we went live. I appreciate everyone. And I know we joke with our fans who type in and stuff like that. And thanks for typing in and being crazy with us. Because I can only imagine when you go back and listen to it and people are like, who are they talking to? Not us, So it's very important that we keep that going. Hey, 100 down. If this is the last one, went out like a G. I don't plan for it to be the last one. So we're going to still act like G's. But thank you to everyone who ever had anything to do with this episode. Even if you, well, not this episode, this show, even if you said you hated it. That means you gave some time to it. So I appreciate that. With that being said, episode 100 down. Next week, episode 101. We're going to start over. And in 3 weeks, 2-year anniversary. 2-year anniversary. 2-year anniversary. Wow. Like I said a couple episodes ago, this might be the longest relationship I've ever been in. And everybody laughs, but that's sadly legit. So, but look, hey, if you here, I'm gonna be here, and hopefully AG and Mo be here too. So, once again, appreciate everybody for listening. Tell a friend, tell an enemy too. I don't care. The more people listen, this is just more awesome. Thank you again for listening. Thank you for participating. Hey. Go Washington. Go Yankees. And I think this is the right time for us to be out. Peace. See you next week.
You can send any questions or comments to FIVE Minute Warning 19 at gmail.com.
The 5-Minute Warning can now be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Breaker, Google Podcast, and Radio Public. Share, like, subscribe.
You've been listening to the 5-Minute Warning with Ruben Brown. Search 5-Minute Warning on the Spotify app. Peace.
Stay safe out there.